Good afternoon and welcome to this short webinar covering diversification during and after the initial impact of Covid-19. As we all know, many businesses are suffering terribly during this pandemic. The impact will be felt for many months. Predictions are that normality will elude us for perhaps as much as 4 years, and that's if the economic recovery following World War II is anything to go by. It's anticipated that 10% of hotels and 20% of pubs won't make it through. Even if they do survive initially, over the post-pandemic months, many more won't recover and will be forced to close permanently. A number of establishments have started to diversify though, and these are the ones that will buck the trend. The world's changed and now is the time to seize every opportunity we can and adapt. According to research, most enterprise clients are already feeling the need to change business priorities. 28% see emerging opportunities, 18% are hunkering down and rolling out cost-saving measures, while 11% remain unclear about their approach. The majority, around 82%, of initiatives focus on restructuring, such as moving workflow into remote environments, while there's been a 57% increase in designing new ways of operating in this environment to get ahead of competition. It represents an opportunity to change how enterprises do business and reevaluate how they operate. Now is the time to change and reevaluate. There's a number of things we can do, and we are seeing many initiatives, adaptations, and diversification across the wholesale and retail sectors and beyond. There's also been an acceleration in automation initiatives. 18% have experienced a major increase and 48% have experienced only some. There's an opportunity to automate to avoid disruption. There's a number of ways we can utilize the supply chain and in doing so protect profits. Diversification sounds easy, but finding an alternative manufacturer or distributor can be difficult depending on the product. Joining forces with a wholesaler who already has an online presence where your product range perhaps complements theirs. This could be a way to increase sales, albeit at lower margins. Breaks and bid food are a prime example. Who'd have thought such rivals would have pooled resource to such great effect? Consider it as a short-term arrangement unless it helps with buying power in the long term. Expand your range and/or target market. Remember, there will be others who don't survive, and someone has to fill those gaps. Research who or what they may be and plug the gap quickly before your competition does. Some retail multiples have struggled to diversify their logistics because they're not geared up for mile delivery, which in part is why wholesalers have found those gaps and started to fill them. Another option for overcoming supply chain disruption is to launch new products that broaden your appeal or help you into new markets following diversification. Finally, wholesalers usually avoid buying too much inventory, but a just-in-time strategy doesn't work when suppliers can't ship their products. Even smaller wholesalers could benefit from investing in excess inventory and warehouse space to meet demand, particularly when demand increases post-pandemic. Let's look at some of the opportunities that may be available. A few wholesalers that already operate online have expanded their activity and introduced new products and processes and converted from their traditional B2B offering to B2C in order to optimize revenues. For those not online, there is the opportunity to become digital. In the short term, replacing some of the turnover, and in the longer term, to grow their business. Consider click and collect, or open part of your warehouse to the public as a cash and carry at specific times. Redeploy your delivery fleet for home delivery. Partner with another local wholesaler to pool resource and complement each other's product profile. This may also be worth considering. Remember, many operations have simply shut shop, providing scope to expand the area you serve. With the strain on retail multiples, some are looking to broaden their supplier portfolios, and many independents are in the same predicament. A lesser-known fact is that by diversifying, some businesses may qualify for R&D tax relief, which can have a positive impact on cash flow. Although it may not always be possible, all businesses should explore whether they can diversify or deploy their assets differently. There's many great examples of how UK businesses have pivoted their offering, including breweries and gin distilleries finding a new use for ethanol supplies by making and distributing hand sanitizer. Manufacturers with 3D printers making much needed PPE and face shields. Restaurants and pubs operating as takeaways and in some cases home delivery services. I've even heard of fish and chip shops jumping onto the bandwagon. Wholesalers have taken their lead and started similar initiatives such as omni-channel trading direct to public with click and collect and so on. It doesn't stop there. These companies still need wholesale to supply them. Now to summarise. Thanks to lower fixed costs, flexible lease arrangements, fewer people to manage, and an entrepreneurial spirit, small businesses often have a predisposition to adapt quickly to a changing market. But all sizes of company need to adapt and diversify. That said, the continuing uncertainty over how long the current crisis might last makes long-term business planning more difficult. Diversification could be a quick fix solution, but can your business resource the changes? The reality is, if you don't make changes now, will you be ready for the new world order? Now, whilst the webinar's been carrying on, there's been a few questions coming in. I'd like to answer just a handful of those, if that's all right. The first one is, how quickly can I set up a B2C online presence? Well, I guess that depends greatly on your supplier. Here at BCP, we've been able to offer a reduced cost rapid implementation to our existing customers, which sees them live within 1 to 2 weeks. It's fully integrated into our Accord system using common business logic, and it operates in real time for stock and latest pricing, including instantly available promotions and price changes. These can be targeted towards specific customer types, for example. Question 2, what's involved in operating a cash and carry operation out of my warehouse? Well, your business systems need to support the functionality first of all. Again, this is simply a module within the Accord ERP system we provide, and can be configured and live within a few days. Number 3, although it's early to have a full idea, do we have an idea of the kind of ROI we can expect from some of the initiatives put in place to open up new business opportunities? Well, I guess it's difficult to quantify without understanding the scope and just what initiative you're talking about. However, if I refer back to question 1, e-commerce offers significant returns. For example, opening up a retail channel offers entry into new markets altogether, along with the higher margins available from retail sales. Customer expectations have rapidly changed, and offering online for trade customers through delivered click and collect models helps meet demands, retain existing and attract new customers. And of course, online reduces demand on customer service operations through self-service, order placement, order tracking and inquiries on customer accounts and so on. Question number 4, what kind of automation are you referring to? Well, artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies is predominantly it. encapsulates better process automation, improved customer engagement, more effective assets, and even new revenue models are now possible. Real-time data will be taken to new levels with the ability of these technologies to anticipate customer needs and extrapolate futures. And finally, what have your customers done the most in terms of diversification? Well, that's quite an easy one. Most of them have been moving to omni-channel or adding B2C to their B2B portfolio. So unless there are any other questions, then I'd like to close by thanking you all for your time, and I hope to welcome you to future sessions. In the meantime, if you'd like to get in touch, then we'd be more than happy to hear from you. Our details are on the next slide. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.